Okay, so I was just looking at the California Vehicle Code and I wanted to share that with you. Let's go, like if you have a certain state that you live in, you could put in up on the Google screen, up on the top, whatever state you're in, vehicle code. Then you can just click on, what is this? Legislative information. Let's go there, shall we? So you want to find out, who does the vehicle code pertain to? Rules of the road. That looks like a good one. Let's go there. Okay, rules of the road, obedience to and effective of traffic laws, definitions. That's a good one. Effective traffic laws, local regulation, operation of bicycles. What? Bicycles. Operation of pedicabs. What? What's that? Operation of motorized scooters, low speed vehicles. And you just, erection and maintenance. Okay, official traffic control. Driving, overtaking and passing, driving on the right side. The right of way. Ooh, right of way is always good. Speed laws. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, let's see. Authority to remove vehicles. Oh, removal of parked or abandoned vehicles, parking lot. Public offenses, driving offenses. You can keep going on and read all this stuff. Boring stuff, isn't it? Special traffic regulations. So, the road. Obedience to and effective traffic laws. Let's click on chapter 1. There's those definitions. Let's go there, shall we? Hey. Vehicle Code, Division 11, Rules of the Road, Chapter 1, Obedience to and Effective Traffic Laws. Definitions, those are good. Wherever in this department occurs, it means the Department of the California Highway Patrol. The provisions of this division refer exclusively to the operation of vehicles upon the highways, unless a different place is specifically referred to. So 2210, let's look up, what is it, 210.50, select the code. Well, we want to look at vehicle code, right? There it is down here, vehicle code. Section 210.52, search. Let's see what we get. Are we getting anything? Are they hiding it? What's the deal? No, they're probably hiding it. Why isn't it going? Search. Abracadabra. Okay, it's working. Here we go. I really like this one. This is my favorite one. I printed this out and I keep it in my, well, okay, I don't have a car anymore because I got totaled on Monday. And it's already Tuesday, not yesterday, but it's what, 8 days now. So look at this, 210.52, the provisions of this code. This is vehicle code, people. Do you see that up there on the top? Look, vehicle code, rules of the road, obedience to and effective traffic laws. We are in the state of California. You can see that up here, California law. Article 2, effective traffic laws, 210.50. Now, what does this say? The provision of this code applicable. Listen up. This is really important. to the drivers of vehicles upon the highways apply to the drivers of all vehicles while engaged in the course of employment by the state. Huh? Keep going. Yeah, there's like, keep going. Any political subdivision thereof, any municipal corporation, or any district, including authorized emergency vehicles subject to those exemptions granted such authorized emergency vehicles in this code. Did you guys see this? The provisions of this code applicable to the drivers of vehicles upon the highways apply to the drivers of all vehicles while engaged in the course of employment by this state. When did they make you an employee of the state? Are you an employee of the state? Yeah, you are. If you have a driver's license, they made you a shadow employee of the state. In my other video, we were looking at 28 something or other. Can't remember what it is. Oh, the one that has the car. Okay, I'm going to put all the things that pertain to the car. I'm going to put the green car. Until I get my car, then I'm going to keep having that crashed car in the front. But let me go on history and see. Here it is. It's 28 U.S. Code 1346. This is the video right here. We're not gonna listen to it. And let me see if I start it from the front. What does it have? The picture of the car? I don't see it. But okay, so 28 U.S. Code 1346. That's what we want to do. So 28 U.S. Code. 28 U.S. Code 1346. Oh, good. I'm wearing something different. You know, sometimes I tell you, I like to stay in the same clothes. Okay, so now, United States as defendant. Judiciary and judicial party, jurisdiction and venue. Well, you can pick one of these. Just pick them all. Collect them all. Micro Machines, collect them all. This looks like it's going to take us to law, Cornell. All right, so let's just read this stuff here. I think I already did in that other video. The district courts have original jurisdiction. Oh yeah, this is the one. Concurrent with the United States Court of Federal Claims of any civil action against the United States for the recovery of any internal revenue tax alleged to have been erroneously or illegally assessed or collected, or any penalty claimed to have been collected without authority, or any sum alleged to have been excessive or in any manner wrongfully collected under the internal revenue laws. Wait, I thought we were looking at something about driving. I know that Title 26 is the IRS, but why is this here in 28? Let's keep reading and find out. Any other civil action or claim against the United States not exceeding 10,000 in amount, founded either upon the Constitution or any act of Congress, or any regulation of an executive department, or upon any express or implied contract with the United States. How much you want to bet the driver's license is an implied contract to contract you as an employee of the state, or for liquidated or unliquidated damages, cases not sounding in tort, except that the district courts shall not have jurisdiction of any civil action or claim against the United States founded upon any express or implied contract. Oh, is that why we don't go to the district courts with the United States, or for liquidated or unliquidated damages in cases not sounding in tort, which are subject to sections 7104B1 and 7107A1 of Title 41, for the purpose of this paragraph right here, an express or implied contract with the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, Navy Exchange, Marine Corps exchanges, Coast Guard exchanges, or exchange councils of the National, NASA, nasty, liars, Aeronautics and Space Administration shall be considered an express or implied contract with the United States. What does it all mean? What does it all mean? Now, we did read this already in that other video, but I'm just trying to tie it in with that California vehicle code that talks about any cars, all vehicles rather, on the highways are employees of the state. And we're tying it up with this implied, express or implied contract with the United States. So that driver's license has a lot of insurance on that little card, because you're part of the United States property. You're an employee of the United States. So that's probably why they have you have that little card in the back. Cha-ching, cha-ching. It's got a lot of insurance on that thing. Plus, if you put on there that you want to donate your body to science, and I wouldn't suggest that, then they get your eyeballs and all that stuff. And you know what? You don't have to be dead for them to get that. I'm just saying. But I digress. Subject to the provisions of Chapter 171 of this title. Should we go there? Let's go there. Abracadabra. It's not found. What happened? Why they do that? Why they tease you like that? They have it all highlighted and acted like it's going to go somewhere, and it doesn't. The district courts, together with the United States District Court for the District of the Canal Zone, remember that? And the District Court of the Virgin Islands shall have exclusive jurisdiction of civil actions on claims against the United States for money damages accruing on and after January 1st, 1945 for injury or loss of property or personal injury or death caused by the negligent or wrongful act or omission of any employee of the government while acting within the scope of his office. Are you a driver? That's the scope of your paid position with the government. That's a contract. It's implied. Under circumstances. Oh, wait, by the way, we forgot that word employment. Did you ever get paid to drive? No, you didn't. As a matter of fact, they have you paying. What kind of a job is that? That they make you pay and make you take tests and make you take care of the car, and you have to put gas and you have to do everything, and then you got to get insurance, and they don't even pay you. That's why I fired myself from the Department of Motor Vehicles, because they were bad employers, making me a slave, making me pay to drive when they made me an employee, excuse me, under circumstances where the United States, if a private person, would be liable to the claimant in accordance with the law of the place where the act or omission occurred. I didn't see them when I ran over them, or something like that, omission. Well, what happened? Where was it? Right on the corner, in the intersection, or no? Right where it happened. You did a negligent or wrongful act or omission of any employee of the government while acting within the scope of his office or employment. See, because you're driving Miss Daisy, you're a driver, right? You don't think that they don't have insurance on you? They got plenty of insurance. When I was in the military, they had insurance on me because I was their piece of property. Yeah, that's what they do. No person convicted of a felony who is incarcerated while awaiting sentencing or while serving a sentence may bring a civil action against the United States or an agency, officer, or employee of the government for mental or emotional injuries suffered while in custody without a prior showing of physical injury or the commission of a sexual act. What are they saying about that? That's weird. As defined in section, well, let's just go there. Let's just go there because I want to see. Let's see if it's going to go. Oh, yeah, here we go. Well, we know that's disgusting, gross. They're They are literally saying all the stuff. I don't even want to read it. That's gross. Ew, disgusting. Well, wait a minute. The term prison means a correctional detention or penal facility. Huh? Then they say the term sexual act means contact between the penis and the vulva, or the penis and the anus, and for the purposes of the subparagraph. This is 18 U.S. Code 2246. This subparagraph involving the penis occurs upon penetration, however slight. Oh, gross. I mean, it's pretty graphic. It's disgusting. Gross. Blah. The intention. Ew. Ew. Okay. So skip it all down to 3. The term sexual contact means the intentional touching. Yeah. Gross. Yeah. The term sexual serious bodily injury. Right now. Okay. And then the term official detention means a detention by a federal officer or employee, or under the direction of a federal officer or employee, following arrest for an offense, following surrender in lieu of an arrest of an offense, following a charge or conviction of an offense, or allegation, or finding of juvenile delinquency, following commitment as a material witness, following civil commitment in lieu of criminal proceedings or pending resumption of criminal proceedings that are being held in abeyance or pending extradition, deportation, or exclusion, or B, custody by a federal officer or employee. There's that word again, employee. Or under the direction of a federal officer or employee for purposes incident to any detention described in subparagraph A of this paragraph, including transportation, medical diagnosis, or treatment. Oh, is that why they offer you, if you get in a car accident, you want medical help or whatever treatment? Because you're the employee, they got to take care of you. Why do you need insurance then? I'm just saying, because if they already got insurance and it's in that driver's license on that black strip in the back, I don't know who's got a reader that we could read that. Just saying. Why are they making us pay insurance? To make us poor. Because you know that these State Farm peoples and State Farm, in your state, you're a beast on their farm, and they have branded you because you're their chattel cattle. They got to take care of your cattle, their chattel. All right, so, but does not include supervision or other control other than custody during specific hours or days. Yeah. After release on bail, probation, or parole, or after release following finding juvenile delinquency. The term state means a state of the United States, the District of Columbia, and any Commonwealth possession. Oh, doesn't Commonwealth sound like England? Possession or territory of the United States. So the term state means a state of the United States. Wait a minute. Let's just click on that hyperlink and see what up with that. Let me see. State. Here it is. Same thing. The term state means a state of the United States, the District of Columbia. That is a 10 square mile parcel in between the Virgin Mary, Virginia, and Maryland. And did you notice that the architecture looks a little kind of like Rome? They got Capitolina Hill in Rome, and Capitol Hill in Little Rome over there, District of Columbia. And who is this Columbia? Goddess of Columbia. Let's just look it up. Columbia. Remember Columbine? Do you remember Columbine? Columbia Broadcasting. Okay. Is Columbia made in USA? What's that? Columbia. Okay, this is sportswear. Oh, Columbia, California. Columbia University in the city of New York. Columbia Business School. Columbia College, Chicago. Columbia College, South Carolina. City of Columbia. Columbia University. Wikipedia. Okay. Let's look up the goddess of Columbia. Just want to see what that looks like. If there's a ho-ho. Isn't that interesting? Look at all those pictures. Oh, she's wearing a flag. I pledge allegiance to your dress. District of the Goddess. The Goddess Columbia. Columbia personification. Oh, wait just 1 second. Did you say personification? Is that like personage? Personage? You're making people things, objectifying? Because some of these pictures look very objectifying, like you're making her an object, a thing. Look over here, Columbia Broadcasting. She's got her torch. Who else has got a torch with light? Oh, look at that one, Liberty and Columbia. What do you guys think about that? Let's click on one of these. Are Liberty and Columbia the same goddess? Mythology and folklore, stack exchange. Look at all those pictures. Can you see that? Look at that. The Statue of Liberty. Could it be a he, she? It's got that that very sharp looking thing here, like Apollo, you know? This could be Apollo in a dress. The Columbia atop Memorial Hall. Let's see what else they got. Liberty moves north to Canada's example. Did you know that this was a statue given by the French Freemasons? Yeah, it was. American Goddess, Columbia. I got my art degree, studio art degree, and I had to go to a lot of museums. And we had to basically learn about religion. Yeah. Every religion has their art. Marianne, Goddess of Liberty. My prayer of grief to Goddess Columbia. Goddess of America, Marmal, something. Goddess Liberty. Liberty, Columbia, the same goddess, are they? Goddess of Liberty figure. So, see this hat right there? That's a Phrygian hat. That's a Phrygian hat right there. That little slouchy hat. The story of the Goddess of Columbia. Let me see. The story of the Goddess of Columbia. Are they going to tell us? Is it a video? Well, let's see. Let's watch it. It's movie night. Get your popcorn out. The story of the Goddess Columbia. Let's see.
If you are struggling with osteoporosis or
this.
osteopenia, and you also take any calcium supplements, you've got...
Okay, let's see what this guy's got to say. Washington, D.C. Are you going to say something?
I got an email from somebody saying, I noticed on one show you did this week, you referred to D.C., where you are, as the city of the goddess. I'm curious about why you did that. This was somebody who has not listened to the show apparently for years and years, because it's been probably a year since I went off on one of these rants. I know that, our show has been growing quite a bit, and we've got a lot of new listeners. So I'll just tell you the story real quickly. One of the things that I love about living in the District of the Goddess is that it's the District of the Goddess. And this is something that prior to the Civil War, pretty much every American knew. And largely since the Civil War, or since that era, pretty much nobody knows. There's a couple of great history books over at the Spy Museum here in Washington, D.C. about this, and you can find them in other places, but the Spy Museum has a great library of kind of obscure and arcane and reprints of old books and things. But here's the story. And parts of it may be apocryphal. I don't have absolute nailed down proof of all of this, but there's an enormous body of evidence and suggestions that it's all fairly accurate. Back when this country was formed, the idea of the founders, particularly Franklin, Jefferson, and Madison, and to some extent John Jay and James and John Adams, but particularly Franklin, Jefferson, and Madison, they were kind of a triumvirate. They were patterning America on three democratic institutions. On the ancient Greeks, the first democracy 3,000 years ago. On the ancient Romans, the first republic 2,000 years ago. And on the Iroquois Confederacy, which had a constitution, a three-branch form of government with a Supreme Court, a legislature, and an executive. And only one gender was allowed to vote in 5 out of the 6 Iroquois nations. Now, for the Iroquois, it was women who were allowed to vote, not men. The founders of this country thought, well, we can do the same thing, only we'll make it men instead of women. But the thing that they noticed was that all 3 of these historic democratic republics that they were patterning America after had goddesses in addition to gods. And we had no goddesses. We had, God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and they're all male. Or at least God and Jesus are typically portrayed as having penises. And It was like, okay, we got plenty of gods. Where is the goddess? And they didn't want to take, Zeus's helpmate or some Roman god. So they created one. They literally invented a goddess out of whole cloth. They took Christopher Columbus's name and they feminized it.
Oh my gosh. It's a
and they named
she.
her Columbia. They put her on our coins during the George Washington administration, and she stayed on our coins until Ronald Reagan's administration. Reagan killed the goddess. He took her off our coins. But from George Washington until the 1980s, there was that woman on our quarters and on our half dollars and on our silver dollars. She was called Standing Liberty, Walking Liberty, the Goddess of Liberty, Ms. Independence. There are other names for her, but she's basically the goddess. They put her on top of the Capitol building, and they passed a law that no building in the Capitol could be taller than the head of the goddess, which is why there's no high rises in this town. Now, Republican Darrell Issa is in charge of the committee that oversees DC, and he's doing his best to try and do away with that because there's a bunch of developers that want to take us to 20, 30, 40, 50 stories instead of just 6 or 8 or 10, and because they can make a pile of money. But so far, there's been a fair amount of pushback. So far, the goddess rules. In, I think it was 1847, it was before the Civil War. It wasn't completed until after the Civil War. But when they started building the Washington Monument, which is the only building in this town that's taller than the head of the goddess, they started building this giant phallic symbol. They took an act of Congress to legalize building something taller than the goddess. And of course, it was, this
big
giant penis symbol honoring George Washington. And that was kind of when the story of the goddess started fading out of our collective memory. They also decided that if you live in the district of the goddess, the district of Columbia is the name of the goddess, that you must be
castrated.
So committed to the work of the goddess, which is governance, to form a more perfect union, to provide for the general welfare. You would have to be so committed to the general welfare of the entire nation.
General welfare.
And the more perfect union of the entire country that you yourself could have no dog in the fight. And so if you lived in the District of Columbia and did the sacred work of the goddess, you had no representation. You had no senator. You had no congressperson. You could vote in the federal election for president, but only for an elector. You're not voting for the president.
Oh.
And there would be no representation, so you would have no corrupting influence. This is how high-minded and egalitarian these guys were. And this is still on the books, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The license plates here in Washington, D.C. say no taxation, say taxation without representation, right? Because we do pay taxes and we have no representation, at least no voting representation. So that's the story of the goddess, and frankly, it's only part of the story. I mean, it goes on from there.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Well, it just seems like it keeps going, deeper and deeper and deeper. Interesting, huh? So what do you think about that? You guys can subscribe and like the videos, please. And please do just like that Zozera. He gives the greatest, wonderful comments. I love it. You guys can start commenting. Talk about some of these things. What did you think about in your state? Does it say the same for your vehicle code? Did they make everybody an employee? Kind of like what he said about the story in Washington, D.C., how they all have to, self-govern themselves, but it's all for the general public. It's interesting. Anyways, good night.